Hello friends, how are you? In today's video, we will see how we can deploy MongoDB on AKS or any Kubernetes. This not going to much difference. So we are going to do this via Helm chart. There are many methods. You can do it via simply manifest file, but we are taking this approach of uh, via Helm chart. I'm using the Bitnami Helm chart for the MongoDB. If you go search for the Vietnam official chart, you will get that. I will share link in the description as well. So it is the link here. You see, to install that chart, you have that link, and if you just run this on your Kubernetes, you will get your cluster of you will get your MongoDB node. And if you want cluster and specific requirement with the at Kubernetes level, at MongoDB level, you can do that. Here are lots of parameters mentioned. We will see about that, how we can use. First of all, here we do a installation of Helm. So first write this command. So Helm installs my release. So what here my release is the name of the release. I'm making its name MongoDB so that, and if you not pass any namespace over that, it will create it in default namespace. I have already created a test namespace. So what I'm going to do is so that's my command. It will make the installation in the test 13 namespace. Okay, so let's go. We have one node pool, which is the auto scale. If it's require more resources, it will get auto scaled. Let me to run this command. I hope font are visible to you. It's not an issue. So it got started. Helm installed. uh, what this command just mean, it's we are using Helm, then we are saying that passing flag of install, it will install and make a release by name of MongoDB. That is the directory repository plus, and that is its chart name, and it's of my local. I think we have make this on test 13 only now. Okay, so let's check the status. What it's saying in the release note, that is the release note which is associated with this release. It's saying that release of the name of the release is MongoDB, and when we have deployed this, status is deployed, revision is 1, test root is none. Okay, chart name is MongoDB, chart version is 13.18.1. App version means our MongoDB version is that, and Helm chart Prami, which we are using, that particular chart version is that. Okay, it's saying that please be patient with the, that's the DNS within the cluster. You can call MongoDB by this to get the password. Okay, no issue to connect to database, create a MongoDB client. You can use MongoDB client to verify that your MongoDB is working proper or not. Then to run the following one, to connect with the admin database, you just run this command, and after that to connect your database from your outside cluster, execute the command. Uh, this client we are making to test the MongoDB within the cluster, and to make the testing from outside the cluster, you just make this post forward. And if you see, okay, let's check kubectl get all -n test 30. Okay, what it has deployed, it's just make a deployment of MongoDB, and under that we have replica set of 1, and it's getting a service of MongoDB, and it's creating a pod of MongoDB. Okay, it's creating any PVC. Let's check. Yes, it's creating 8 GB on by using default class available in the Kubernetes, and MongoDB bound state with this by this name. We have PVC by name of MongoDB, and this is the volume, and it's just created 2 minutes 42 seconds before. Okay, we have length also. We can check that in the overview. We have one deployment, one replica set, not much things here. And in the configuration, we have any config map. Yes, that's the config command. There are two config map get created with that. That one created with the creation of namespace, and that one created with the creation of our chart. It's getting used by the chart while doing the release. And here in the release, we have the MongoDB. That is the password for the what the setup we have created. That's the MongoDB password here, store here, and that's the secret for the MongoDB chart. All the Helm information, release information is kept here of that particular V1. More we are, and from here you can check persistent claim volume. It's created here, and then the network we have service of MongoDB. Okay, here you notice one thing. By default, if you do, it will create MongoDB deployment. It is MongoDB is a database. It's not recommended to make the deployment. So we modify the things and try to change. We will try to change the things. So what we can do, we will instead of deployment, we will make this stateful set. Before going that, just I'm going to do one thing. I'm here uh, in the network. I have service. Okay, in the service, just go below. Here is the port. I'm just going to do port forward it 2710. Okay, I'm going to port forward it on 27017. What it will do, MongoDB port is getting port forward to my local machine, and it will be remain same 27017. Now what we can do, we have Mongo Compass. We need to pass user password in the transaction authentication, username password. Here, what is the username? We have to see that in the release note. MongoDB root password. To get the root password, I think user is root. We can confirm this from value.yaml, but just uh, for just make this and go to config map. In the note, I want to go in the secrets, and here we have the secret of MongoDB. Just watch this secret and get this secret and paste it over here and try to connect. Okay, it's get connecting. It we have three database: admin, config, local. So we have validated that we are able to connect to our MongoDB now. shift to our second part to make the MongoDB as stateful set. We have done the port forwarding. You can do it via CLI, and we have fetched the password from. You just need to do that. Just copy it and hit paste. Just paste the password here. Here you just run the loopctl port forward service name hyphen and space port :port, which is first port which you want add service from your local, which at which port you want to access, and :port, the port which is associated with the port, then hyphen and your namespace. Same you can use to get the password. Same I'm keeping here. Port forward command I will paste later on here. So till now, what we have done, we have created the MongoDB. Let's look at Helm show values. We need to modify the things. Okay, we want to make the other stateful set. Helm show values, and what we need here, chart information. Helm show values here. I'm storing it in values.yaml. Helm show values. I hope this is working fine. Okay, we have got all the values ready with that. Actually, I'm getting your comment that not maintaining the description. So that's the command to get the value.yaml file, and now we have the files. Now again go to the Bitnami. Here it's saying that there are some prerequisites that you have Kubernetes greater than 1.19 plus. I'm assuming that you should have that. Continue the 1.25 version is, I think, version, and Helm 2.3, 3.2 is enough. PV provision should be aligned to, as it is doing the dynamic provisioning of PV. Helm install my release. Okay, we have done that. Helm delete my release. By using this command, you can delete your PVC. If I just push here, Helm delete. What was my release name? MongoDB. Just paste it over here, copy it, and just do that. Okay, 1 second. It will not run like that. We have to pass the event test 30. Okay, so it had deleted. If you go on lens again, so you are seeing everything is depreciated. But if you go workload again and see the overview, everything is gone, but PV should be remain there. Okay, PV also got deleted in case of deployment. So let's make the stateful set. If we go beyond, here are the replica set. Okay, we have to make this replica set or a standalone. We can do that by checking it over here. Parameter. Is there any option of making this as a stateful set? Okay, go beyond architecture. That's some namespace override. Global parameters are there. Common name override. That's just basic component. Use stateful set. Okay. Okay. When your architecture is standalone, let's check the architecture. In the by default configuration, architecture is the standalone. Okay, so what it's saying, when your architecture is standalone, uh, it will create the deployment. If you make it to replica set, it will create the use stateful set. If you don't want to do that, you can do use stateful set as true. But I have already read about that. If you increase the replica set, if you increase the replica set, yeah, that one. I think replica count was one only. Yes. Let's search from here. One second. Is there any replicas count? Number of nodes. Okay. If you make the replica set count as an replica set, then it will create two replica set by default. So what I need to change? I need to change the architecture. Here, just paste it over replica set. So now I need to make a release. So Helm install MongoDB. It will explain -f values .yaml and other things will remain same. Okay. So what here we're doing? We want and we are mentioning Helm to take the configuration from this manifest file. Don't take the default configuration. So let's check. And we should increase the count from 2 to 3. As 2 is the default, we want our configuration. Okay. Just running over here. It took some time, and we have make the replica set. Now here in previous release note, we are finding that one DNS. Now we are finding three DNS. Why? Because we are working with this data set now, and all the replicas have their particular DNS, and they use the headless service to, uh, for access of all the ports. Plus, they have their all P and different PVC. If we check in the lens here again, okay, two are created. If I go in the first go in the workload, and then we have stateful set. Okay, uh, one is the MongoDB and one MongoDB helpful node arbiter is there, and two are come in working. And one thing about stateful set, they alike deployment. If you are making deployment of three replica set, three are coming up at same time. But in the stateful set, first MongoDB 0 came up, after that MongoDB 1, and then after MongoDB 2 will came up. Okay. Then if we see here, we have seen the overview that we have two stateful set, and 4 ports. Then in the config part, same, we have more one more we have added in the config mask. MongoDB secret is added here. Then in the secrets, we have MongoDB secret for the password and Helm release. That's the Helm release which we have done just now. Then we have PVCs. Here you can see that we have 3 MongoDB node and all of 3 have different PVCs. And data is getting replicated of MongoDB 0 to MongoDB 1 and MongoDB 1 to MongoDB 2. Then in the network part, we have 2 services. One is the MongoDB headless and one is MongoDB arbiter headless. You can go to, you can call or you can reach to any of the MongoDB via using this DNS. But when you are, we can say, you can do check via running under that. But when you are, when we try to access it from outside, let's access it from outside again. I think that's what shouldn't be working. Just disconnect it, go to the new window, and here we have MongoDB is ready. Just go again into the lens and in this service MongoDB headless, port forward 27017. I think 27017 port is already busy. Let's check. Okay, with the previous deployment we have deleted this. I'm using the MongoDB Compass. You can use you can go to the official website of MongoDB Compass to view the UI of the MongoDB as we are seeing here. So now root was the password. Again, root user. If we search here, what is the user? It should be yeah. Root user is root and password is got saved there. We have make the port forwarded it on 27007 port, and if we remove, just go to the new connection. Okay, see the advanced option, password authentication, username, password. Here is the root, is the username, password. We can again fetch from where in the go to config, go to secrets, go to MongoDB, MongoDB replica set key, MongoDB root password. Just copy it and go to the MongoDB Compass again, paste the password here. Here in the general, you have to make the direct connection enable, as it is the not, it is not deployment, it is the what we can, it is the stateful set. We should make the direct connection true, otherwise you will found error. Just click on it and we are inside the database, and we can perform all the actions of what you want to perform and validate the things. So hope you like the video, and there are much more options. I will share this MongoDB Bitnami chart links with you, MongoDB Compass link with you. There are toleration is there, multiple type of are there. You can, one thing about PVC, our data is persistent, but we are making the dynamic provisioning here. You can choose your static version for that. If you I think it's 8gi, no? Yes. Here you can change the storage class. We are using the storage class default. You have seen that all the PVCs are creating a type of default. They are of kind in the kind of LRS type. You can make the GRS type by changing the storage class. Any other setting you want to change, you can do that. And if you have already created a PVC there, you can just mention here the claim ID or claim name, whatever in the namespace you have. You can mention that, and it will starting to flow. It will mount your either you are making the stateful set or deployment. It will mount your particular deployment to that. Okay, I hope you will find the video helpful. If you like, please subscribe our channel and share. Bye.